Welcome to the Anita Chat Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Anita Rombo. This is the podcast for growth-oriented, high-vibe, and big-hearted people who are ready to show up and glow up to be the best versions of themselves. If you are ready to embrace your most authentic, aligned, and abundant life, one that feels great on the inside and out, then you, my friend, are in good company. Grab your favorite bevy, settle in. We've got lots to chat about. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Anita Chat. It's the first episode of 2024. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope this new year is bringing you joy, growth, and countless opportunities. If you are tuning in and around the time of the release of this episode, this also happens to be an extra super powerful, energetic time. And that is because we are ushering in the new moon in Capricorn on January the 11th. And so in addition to this blank canvas and the promise and potential of a new year, this new chapter that we're welcoming in, the new moons are also really about new intentions and new beginnings. And then we have this new moon itself in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the zodiac sign that is all about climbing the ladder, getting to new heights, raising the bar, self-discipline, overcoming actions or obstacles, being very resilient, and playing bigger. And then last but not least, this new moon is happening on January the 11th, which is 111, and 111 itself is also associated with an energetic portal per se. So this is a really, really heightened and important time for us to take those habits and resolutions or words, whatever it was that you were maybe thinking about, or if you haven't yet thought about them, definitely not too late to do so. But with this extra new moon energy and this extra new year energy and this new moon in Capricorn energy and this 111 energy, this is the perfect time to put those visions or goals into action, to create a solid plan, to set the foundation to achieve them over the next long haul. How do we make them work for us? And so with that being said, I want to know what it is that you would like to manifest this year. What would bring you the utmost joy and delight to call in? What would you like to happen to make this year your best one yet? That is the thing that lights me up the most, is helping people bring their visions and goals for themselves, to step into their power, to step into their highest and best self. I want to know what it is that you're trying to call in. DM me on Instagram at Anita Rombo, or drop me an email in my inbox, info@anitarombo.com. That information will be in the episode description. I read every single message or email that comes my way. I truly want to know what it is that you're working on. What is lighting you up this year? And that is precisely also what I want to chat with you about today. In the spirit of new beginnings and creating that thing, there's a buzzword that gets a lot of hype, especially around this time of year. That might seem a little bit controversial to some. It might elicit some eye rolls, but I want to go all in on it today. And that is manifestation, and how to make manifestation work for you. So let's talk about what manifestation is, what are some of the myths around it, and why it's not working for you, and then how to kickstart or activate your magic manifesting mode if you feel called to it. Because guess what? It's a lot easier than you think. I'm even going to give you a free resource to help you get those results a bit faster. Myself a self-proclaimed magic manifester, and I'll tell you why. Because I can manifest things on a whim, including my house. I manifested the day that we were going to sell our old house, the price that it was going to come to. I manifested the house that we were going to buy, the price that we were going to get. I threw in a ton of other things that both me and my husband and my real estate agent be like, what are you even talking about, Anita? Like, there's lots of offers on the table. They're not going to go for your lowballed offer with everything and the kitchen sink thrown in. And guess what? I did. I manifested it. That is just one of many things that I've manifested. So I definitely think I have a lot of things here that can help you kickstart your game or amplify your game. And so let's start from the top. What is manifestation? So when I say manifestation, law of attraction is manifestation. When it comes to manifestation, you're manifesting all the time, whether you realize it or not. Manifestation is not only just attracting or calling in the desires, it can also be negative stuff. What is coming into you is a result of what it is that you are wishing for, what it is that you believe, and what it is that you are feeling. What I'm referring to is the act of attracting in or calling in something that you really want into your reality. It is the act of making your wishes or your desires come true. And so what I'm saying with respect to that is you need to have a desire or vision. So that's number one. If you're going to work with manifestation, you need to know what it is that you want to create. What is it that you want? That is exactly why I asked you to get into my inbox or get into my socials. I want to know what it is that you're working on. What will just excite you to no end to welcome into this year, right? What would be your pinch me moments? That's the goal. That's the desire. That is probably what you're looking to manifest, right? That's the thing that you're blowing up those birthday candles for. Be clear. And I would say claim it. How do you claim it? Well, claiming it comes many different ways. And again, as a coach, coaching people, even me, and using this podcast to tell you what my goals are straight up, I claim it because I use this as an accountability framework. So when it is something that you want, I want you to declare it. I want you to declare it far and wide. I want you not only to declare it to yourself, but declare it to some people that you trust that can hold you accountable to it. Because when you want something and you say you want it, there's a commitment that you've made both to yourself and to other people that just means that you're going to show up for it. And this might go against what you think about when it comes to manifestation. You might just be thinking, oh, well, I just make a wish and it comes true. I hate to say it, but this kind of thinking was popularized by, some very famous books that I enjoyed and read as well, but I think missed the mark. Like The Secret, for example, Rhonda Byrne, right? It's all about the law of attraction. So number one, figure out what it is that you want. Number two, claim it. Claim it for yourself, claim it for other people. Show up for that vision. And when I say show up for that vision, that leads me to another step, which is you got to do the work. This is not Rhonda Byrne's version of manifestation where you just say something and it's going to fall into your lap. You're showing the universe that you're serious about what it is that you want. You're taking inspired action. It's not about just sitting around and making a wish. I'm looking for my dream partner, but I'm going to sit at home every night and binge watch Netflix and eat Ben and Jerry's and boom, I'm going to find him. No, it's not going to work that way. If I want to find somebody and I'm making this my year of finding somebody, I'm going to declare to my besties, I want to find the love of my life this year. And I'm going to put myself on online dating sites and I'm going to go to social events because I'm going to put myself out there to meet new people. And whether that's the way that my path is going to cross with the love of my life, it doesn't matter because I'm showing up to do the work and showing the universe that I'm serious. And then the universe is going to co-create with me and it's going to happen. It's just all going to gel. I know this sounds a little bit wooey, but just hang with me for a second. All right. So if you want a dream job, what do you got to do? You got to get out there and spruce up that resume and send it to places. You can't just dream of this other job where you've got this corner office. You got to work for that corner office. It does take effort on your part. So that is a huge, huge, huge myth. Now, the working for it bit doesn't have to feel hard and painful and difficult. In fact, if it's towards something that's really lighting you up, it should feel exciting and joyful and you should be curious about it. It may not necessarily always be easy, but the ease should outweigh the pain, right? You should be leaning into the feelings that achieving that goal gives you. The energy between, just going at something as like, I have to do this. I have to do this versus I want to do this. I get to do this really changes the reframe around approaching a goal that you're wanting to manifest. So we know what we want. We're committed to making it happen. We're declaring it to the world. We're taking action on our desires. So then what? Okay, so we talked a little bit more about the wooey bit, about the co-creating and showing up and doing your part, and then the universe will meet you halfway. And that involves a lot of trust and surrender, which might be hard for some of us that are Uber planners, type A's, people like me who've got a plan BC, or if you're in the corporate world, you've got a project plan and you've got risk mitigation strategies. If you've got timelines associated with things, well, manifestation does not involve project plans or Gantt charts. It does involve a lot more white space for things to just fall into place the way it is. Coming from somebody in the corporate world, somebody who's very type A, very planned, to just kind of go with the flow. It's really hard for me. It's really hard for me to slow down and do that, but that is the ways that manifestation works. You just have to co-create. In fact, desire, the origin of desire from a Latin perspective means of the Father. So if you heard you're right where you're meant to be, or, your dream is meant for you, that's kind of where the origin of that comes from. If you have a dream, it was planted there. That desire was planted there from a higher power, energetic sense that you were bestowed this vision, this desire for a reason, because it was something that was meant for you, and you have the ability to achieve that if you firmly believe it and show up for it and embrace it all in. And that is what manifesting is all about. Trust in the surrender that you have everything that you need and that you're universally guided and protected and supported to make it come true. That is probably the most ambiguous part of manifestation that I think you would find. Project plans, there's nothing left to chance. Manifesting, you need to give yourself some white space and just understand that you don't need to know the full path. You just need to take an action and keep showing up over and over again and trust that you will find the way. And the way to know if you're finding the way is the energy behind it, the feelings that you get behind things. So when you're manifesting something that you are excited about, you are like, this is like the thing of your life. This is you're going for that big goal. Yeah, you might be a little bit nervous and anxious and scared, but you're also going to be hella excited and inspired. And yes, I'm getting this, right? You're going to feel joyful. And those feelings actually are energy. So energy is that glue that accelerates and catapults your desires into reality. When you're going after that biggest, baddest, boldest life, that's exciting stuff, right? You're going to feel that energy, that excitement. That energy is what is going to create those manifestations for you. So that's where I say things like vision boards and affirmations, they're not necessarily going to make your manifestation happen. So if you are just, saying, oh yeah, I'm doing all the things, I've got a vision board, I put like some pictures on a slab of paper. Okay, well, good for you. Yay. There's a picture of a house that you would like to live in. Maybe it's by a beach or there's a nice pool. You've taken a picture of Disneyland if you want to take your kids there, whatever the case may be. You can look at those pictures and yes, those are nice pictures. They mean so much more if it's actually pictures of you. So let's say you wanted to lose 20 pounds because you've, gained some COVID weight and you need to get rid of it. Okay, well, if you took a picture of yourself from earlier on when you were that size, then you can picture yourself in that state, right? Like you were once there. So you can see that visual reminder of yourself. So number one, if you're doing vision boards, there's nothing wrong with them. And there's a way to make them work for you. One of the ways is to create pictures that you can really relate to, that you can really imagine yourself in. So maybe they're your actual pictures. And number two, instead of just any pictures, whether they're pictures of you or whether they're generic stock photos that you like, that you want to somehow call into your life, it's really important that you don't just look at them for the sake of looking at them or have them on your desk for the sake of having them on your desk. You got to spend some time with them every day. You got to really look beyond the pictures and feel the pictures, like feel like you're in that scene right now where you're walking up to that house or that you're swimming in that beach or you are in that Disneyland parade, whatever it is, right? Like you got to feel like you're there. You got to act as if you're there and use those pictures as a catalyst to help get you there. Similarly, when it comes to things like our affirmations or mantras, it's really nice to say some positive statements, over and over again. But again, if you're just going to say them and not really deeply process them, it's not really going to go so far. You've got to really believe them. You got to really get into the energy of them. So when you can feel yourself in the pictures, when you can feel yourself in those statements, you're getting into the energy of them. And that's the energy, the law of attraction, the energy that's going to help bring this to your life. So let's just recap. Manifestation is happening whether you know it or not, consciously or unconsciously. Your thoughts are working for you. And so let's make them work for us on a level to attract what it is that we want to desire. So let's get ourselves an end goal and claim that end goal and do some work to support that end goal. Let's get our feelings and our vibes as high as possible, because those high vibes and that high energy, by imagining that we're there, things like visualization, that's what's going to help us kickstart and accelerate that motivation. Another thing that you need to understand is that we are our own biggest saboteurs, our mind especially. So success is 80% mindset and 20% strategy. 20% strategy, 20% relies on an action plan with risk mitigation strategies. 80% is what you think. Do you believe that you're capable of it? Do you believe that you're worthy of it? Do you believe that you can have it? Right? We might say that this is the year that I get that corner office job. And that's what it is that you want. And that is what you might have on the vision boards. That might be what you're saying in your affirmations. But if deep down there's a little nugget of doubt in you saying, oh no, honey, you want that, but you're not as good as XYZ, you're going to talk yourself out of applying for that job. You're going to self-sabotage, whatever it is, right? So really, really and truly, if you want it, do you believe it? Do you believe that you're worthy of it? Are you willing to receive that? Because most of us on some level are not willing to receive. We have blocks around receiving because we don't feel like we're good enough. We don't feel like we're worthy enough. We don't love ourselves enough. Whatever the underlying reason is, most of us have these blocks to receiving fully what it is that we desire. And that's one of the reasons why things don't happen for us, because you can't have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake and expect to move. So our desires and our beliefs need to align. And last but not least, we got to have that energy. We got to have that energy that's aligned and it's high vibe, right? If we have the vision, if we believe that we're capable of achieving the vision, if we're taking those actions to show up like a boss towards moving the needle, and we're showing up and we're having fun in that energy, and we're giving ourselves the energy that make us feel good and high vibe and motivated and creative and inspired, then that is what's going to activate your magic manifestation power. Because energy, my friends, is everything. The universe is always responding to your energy. It's called the law of attraction. You are always emitting a frequency, and that frequency determines your outcome. So you want to keep your vibe as high as possible. And if you could do just one thing, if you could just take one thing from this episode, I would say that is the thing that you need to focus on, is keeping your vibes as high as possible. If you are not seeing a result in whatever it is that you want, if every year you have the same kind of resolution or habit or intention, or you're not moving the needle as fast as you want, then that's the one thing that you can do right away to create a change, is just change your energy. Now, on that note, I mentioned that it's a lot easier than you think to change your energy, and that I did have a resource that would help point you in the right direction. So I wanted to let you know that I do have a free guide. I'll put a link to it in the episode description. It's called Dopamine Hits and Spiritual Lifts. This short guide will give you 10 easy ways to elevate your vibration, to keep your vibe and your mood high, especially when you're feeling unfocused and unmotivated. Once again, that's in the episode description. My friends, if you're looking for more support, I have 2 spots left for my private one-on-one coaching program, where we incorporate the best of the Eastern world and the Western world to create your best world. So together we work on getting clarity on what it is that you do want to create. We work on improving the mindset, figuring out what those right actions are, and taking those steps to get there. And we do a lot of energy work as well. We look at clearing and raising our energy. And if you are interested in knowing what working with me looks like, you can learn more about that on my website, and you can apply for a coaching spot if you feel inclined on my website. It's www.anitarambo.com. I will also put the link to that in the episode description. And so, my friends, that brings me to the end of this episode. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.